What's up, everybody? It's Peyton Mansell.
This is Jim Deacon.
And we're out here at Lions for round 2 of the Crosstown Throwdown, sponsored by Meridian Discs, Dyches Tasby with Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, Dr. Mike Mansell, Rome Roof and Solar, Discaholics, Storm Nation, Magnolia Realty, George Rangel, AAA Straight Bait, Game Nights, and Armory Disc Golf.
So our feature card, lead card today, Jaden Ryan, Eli Cleary at -8, Sam DiCarlo is -6, GT Hancock's at -5. Let's see how this round goes. Well, number 1 here at Lions Park in Temple, Texas, 739-foot downhill bomber shot. Got out of bounds on the left. You want to land your tee shot about 450 out here, right around this cart path. It's going to be out of bounds on the right, and it's going to taper in toward the out of bounds on the left. It's going to be a real tight little island to land on. If you get a good tee shot, you're going to be landing about 300 from the hole, 250, 300. You get your up shot. Make sure you make the island here and give yourself a birdie shot to start number 1. Great hole to start. Great viewing hole. Let's get started.
First up on the box.
Be with you all day. Have fun.
It's going to be Jaden Rye.
Jaden's lining up what looks like a Lucid Ice Enforcer here, just playing it really wide. We had a bit of a left-to-right wind, I believe, today, so there is some danger right and left, but he's just playing it safe.
Eli's coming up. He's a -8. We didn't get to see him yesterday on the first round. Had a great round at Crossroads.
Really good young player out of Dallas. I believe he's 18. Yep. And he's just playing a little bit more aggressive than Jaden. Really, the only thing he's got to worry about right there is actually landing on the sidewalk, which he actually skips off of. You guys might not know that middle sidewalk actually plays like a river. So if you're on the sidewalk, you're actually OB.
And then Sam's coming up. He had a really good round as well, 6 under.
Yep. Sam's a very methodical player. Doesn't do anything crazy. He just kind of, gets his way down the fairway, and then he's a great putter. So he's leaking this one just a little bit left. But
he's in perfect position.
In perfect position.
And then GT had an up and down round yesterday at Crossroads. And
he's definitely going to be looking to bounce back from yesterday. He's just going to basically do the same thing as the other guys.
This is the grip and rip hole. You just throw it as far as you want to throw it.
Yep.
Past the cart path.
Just past the cart path.
So how far is the cart path up to the guy on the green? What'd you mark off?
If I remember correctly, I think it's so Jaden right there is about 360.
Great shot.
Yeah.
It's right underneath the basket. It's going to have a great birdie putt. Look at it. The grass is always high, so it doesn't skip down there. So you've got to throw it the whole distance.
And this green isn't technically an island, but it kind of plays like an island to where if you're, right at all, you're OB, and you're basically going to be throwing from where you went OB.
And Eli was a little short. Going to have a tester for a birdie putt.
GT just hanging it out to the right. Right over that OB line. Yep, and he's going to have about a 25, 30-footer.
Eli's got a long putt for birdie, and he's going to skip it off the top, and he's going to blow a little bit long, blow past. He's going to have a tough par putt coming back up there.
Yep, just a little bit windy, and then we're actually in a little bit of bowl right here.
Yep,
so it just
Sam, he just slammed that putt for a birdie.
Jaden with about a 25-footer would really love to start off his round with a birdie, kind of the way he started yesterday.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
From far.
Oh,
Eli's
no.
coming back, and he misses, so he's going to make a buck 3 putt for a 5.
Not how you want to start out the event, but he's a heck of a player, so I know he'll bounce back.
GT was a little nervy on that first putt.
Yeah, first putt, about 25, 30 feet. But, wow, what a spit through for Jaden. He can't complain about the baskets because I went and put a better basket on this hole. So
they're going to complain about something regardless.
Yeah. We got hole 2, sponsored by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance and Dyches Tasby. So this hole is a touch different than what it looks like on the drone footage here.
It's a lot longer. You put it way back on the berm on the left.
This basket is actually about 200 feet back left. You can kind of see it in the left corner of your screen right here. Just making it a little bit more of a par 4.
It's a legitimate par 4.
It's a legitimate par 4 now. So let's see how it goes.
First up is Sam, that great birdie on number 1.
Yeah.
Got to hit this gap.
There's an OB line left that, you know, definitely comes into play if you leak it. Sam throwing a really good backhand, and that's just the play. Just throw it, you know, looks like Jaden's throwing his honor. Just get something out right. You don't need a bunch of distance. You know, the further you get, it makes it a little bit easier to get into the green, but
that's a great tee shot from Jaden after missing that birdie putt.
Yep. No reason to really get super aggressive off the tee here. You basically just want to set yourself up for your second shot.
Eli's the only one with a forehand.
Yep. This is what I think you see from the majority of the field. Just throw a forehand, stock forehand, and then just let it leak right.
This is also one of the holes that was really damaged by the tornado. It's really been cleaned up well, though.
Yep. Sam just throwing backhand putter or mid-range here. Looks like just getting it up onto that hill.
He didn't like that shot, so he left it a little left and short.
Yep. Eli challenging that OB right there, and then just skips it up. Really good shot. Same thing with GT here, just throwing a nice stock backhand. You've got that berm to kind of play into, but the only problem with that is if you go long.
Skip off. And out of bounds is what, 10, 15 feet behind it?
It's pretty tight back there.
So Sam's got a birdie putt up the hill.
Makes these putts a little nervy too, because if you whiff, you're probably going OB.
So Sam missed his putt. It stayed in bounds though, so in good shape.
Yep. Jaden with his little pitch putt.
Got that birdie after missing that one-on-one.
And shout out to the city for getting this basket moved. They got it moved pretty quickly for this event.
So we drove it a couple days before, and it was moved.
Yep, they've done a great job with really working with us for this event. GT with his tap-in 3, and Elijah really good bounce back. It's always nice to have a tap-in birdie after you take a bogey.
Especially a 3-putt bogey.
Yep. But Eli's a really, really good player, so he's definitely bouncing back. Got hole 3 sponsored by Cody Kilgore and Storm Nation. Make sure if you have any roofing needs, you hit up Cody. So hole 3 is a pretty soft par 4. It's only about 526 feet. You can definitely get some eagle bids out here. The play is basically just throw either a backhand flex shot or you can even throw a forehand. I think there was 1-2 the entire tournament on it. So let's see how it plays out.
Okay, first up. First up is going to be Jaden. Got that birdie after the missing that birdie putt on 1. He's going to try to get one down in there, but he's going to hit one of their little trees, and he's going to give himself a long approach shot to this hole. The only thing you really get in trouble is hitting trees.
Yep, and I mean, it's one of those holes that even if you hit it in an early tree, it's still open enough to where you can attack for a birdie.
GT really drove one out there and hit the tree.
GT ripped one, just hit a late tree. Elijah's lining up his shot.
He is so smooth when he throws it.
Very smooth.
You said he's only 18?
That's what I know. He was young enough not to be able to take a beer voucher. So Sam lining up, I think a destroyer or a raid, and that's a great shot right there.
So Jaden is going to have a long approach shot.
Yep. Probably about 330 out.
And he hit it, threw it into the ground a little bit.
Yeah,
so
just a little bit low. He disked down. He went with a justice versus a fairway. So GT throwing a backhand, just trying to scoot it up there, and he leaves it a little bit short. GT was in a little bit tougher position angle-wise. Eli almost ringing it up with his forehand.
He went a little long, not just Jaden's long birdie putt.
Yep. And that's what I was saying earlier. It's a pretty soft par 4. It's just one of those tweener holes to where you'll have a couple people per round, kind of where Sam is for a 2.
Yep.
And it's not an easy putt either.
No, it's uphill. No, GT's got his birdie putt, and he threw it. What you can't do, he threw it long and threw it out of bounds. So.
Yep. Pretty easy mistake to make.
Exactly.
Especially when you're trying to, catch Jaden and Eli, who have already got a couple strokes on you, but he'll bounce back. GT's a really good player.
Exactly.
Jaden
got his par, so Sam got his birdie.
Yep, just a couple of tap-ins. Sam would probably love to have that too, but walking out with a birdie is nothing to scoff at. So
GT made his bogey.
Got hole 4 sponsored by Dr. Michael Mansell over at Belton Family Dental. If you have any dental needs, make sure to go and hit up my dad.
Yeah, Dad, I need you to fix my teeth.
Hole 4, it's actually an island hole. It's about 277 feet. Pretty straightforward. the island is a little bit tighter on the left and then forward and backwards, but you've got a pretty good amount of room on this right side. But for guys like this should just be pretty much a birdie opportunity every
Exactly.
chance.
When the storm took out that tree, it kind of opened up.
Definitely made the hole a little bit harder. Next year, I'll probably try and tweak this hole just to make it a touch harder. Just because, I mean, you're seeing from these shots, these guys, it's just like playing lawn darts. They're just
300 feet straight, nothing to worry about.
Jaden disking up and going felon, it looks like. And then GT going with his A2, I believe. And this is just stock GT Hancock A2 shot. I mean, if you would bet me any money, I would guarantee you he's probably not putting it outside of 15 feet on this hole.
Here's Jaden, easy birdie putt.
Yeah, and it looks like we'll get our first star frame of the round right here.
Oh, gotta rush that putt.
I didn't look at scores. Sorry, Eli.
I knew it was coming.
I jinxed it.
So they all made birdies. Jaden goes up on top. He'll be 10 under. Eli's going to be 9 under. So
one of the easier holes on the day. Tapping. Got hole 5 today. It's actually a combined hole. It's if you're from Temple and you've played this course, it's actually hole 5 to hole 6's basket. And this hole is sponsored by Jaylene Holman with Magnolia Realty. If you have any real estate needs in Central Texas, make sure you go hit up Jaylene. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward hole. You've got to go right of this light pole that you can't really see in the frame. But most people are either just going to throw a forehand, just play for about a 350, 360 foot upshot. And it gets tricky because you kind of are landing in a gully.
Jaden's going to go up over the top.
Yep, bigger arms will just go big hyzer. You are teeing off from out of bounds here, so if you don't execute and you nick something, you do re-tee.
GT's going to go over the top like Jaden did.
Yep.
You can get up over it to the easy shot.
But for guys like this is should be pretty up and down. Yep, GT pushing a little bit. That's that light pole Mando I was talking about. But this is just usually the stock play right here. People are just going to rip a forehand.
The Mando is the one that's like Mando.
Go around the corner. They're all basically in the same spot.
Yeah. The only aggressive play is to go turnover from that forehand line. Sam's lining up this hyzer. It gets tough. You know, the footing's not always the best, and that kind of shows you what the result of that is. They're just kind of throwing out that downslope. Elijah looks like he puts a pretty good move on this one, but even he's just a touch short. He's got about a 30-footer. GT throwing the hyzer.
He's going to be a little short as well, out to the right.
Yep. You can't even see the basket from where Jaden is. Like I said, bad footing.
He ripped that one.
Yep.
He's going to be right underneath the basket.
Great shot from Jaden right there.
They all have birdie putts, but Jaden's really close.
Yep. You got Sam. Bang. Sam is a very sneaky putter. He's got a very unorthodox form, but man, does he jam some of these long putts.
He was talking about his putter. It's been on and off this year. And you know, the wind's in play there too.
Yeah, so. It is very windy. It's kind of tough to tell now, but it is pretty windy, and we're kind of in a gully. That's a great bounce back putt from Eli right there. Or Elijah, do you know how he...
Eli.
Eli.
Mom was calling him Eli.
Okay.
And then Jaden made his.
Jaden with his tap-in pitch putt. GT's putting out for par. Yep.
Come on, GT. Tough hole.
Tough hole. We got hole 6 here. It's a 562-foot par 4. We have OB right and left, and this hole is sponsored by Discaholics. If you have any disc golf needs in Belton or Temple, make sure you go visit their store.
Great. Quick coming off that birdie, Sam with a big rip.
Yeah, most of these guys are just going to throw the hyzer, just set up a pretty nonchalant up and down second shot. I think next year I'll do a little bit more to just make this landing zone a little bit tougher, just so guys aren't, you know, just throwing stock hyzers. Maybe I make them go a little bit more left off the tee, but
you know, the only difference on the hole is the out of bounds and then the uphill on the approach shot.
Yeah,
a lot of people just leave it short.
Yeah, but for guys like this, I mean, these are all just pretty stock hyzers. Mm-hmm. I think next year I'll definitely try and do a little bit more flagging wise, just to make it a little bit tougher off the tee.
They were saying they wanted you to move and make it come from the first tee, move it back a little bit, make it par 3.
Yeah.
I'm sure you heard that.
On the way I've gotten it.
All of these guys probably got a little bit more than 300 feet into the green, but I would be surprised if everybody doesn't get up and down from where they were. Eli just a touch short, leaving himself a little bit of a putt. Jaden's lining up the slammer. If you've never played with Jaden, anytime he puts a slammer in his hands, he is trying to throw it in, basically. And he does it.
Got a great touch.
Often.
Got a great touch on it.
GT with a PA3, I believe, just getting it up to C1.
Nice putt for Eli.
Eli getting that putter going.
He was so smooth all day long.
Nice putt from GT right there. Little happy clap.
Happy clap. I think we're going to get a star birdie frame on this one.
I'm going to refrain from saying anything in case I jinx it again.
Yeah.
But
Eli's probably still mad at you.
yeah, probably. Sorry, Eli.
There it is.
There we go. We got our first star frame. We got hole 7, sponsored by Rome Roof and Solar. Rome is another roofing company in Belton and Temple, veteran owned, so make sure you guys go and check them out if you have any roofing or solar needs. Hole 7 is pretty straightforward, but man, this hill can be treacherous, especially with the OB left and long.
Yeah,
It's very easy if you put something on too much angle to just roll straight OB.
Yeah, exactly. Roll straight down the hill.
Sam throwing it looked like a pretty fast disc, just playing it up on top of the hill, giving himself a pretty scary putt. Jaden going a little bit more right at it with his Fusion Justice.
And he is. He's going to be right up on
and that
it.
is rolling, but
Perfect.
Checks up perfect. I'm assuming Eli is throwing, looks like an approach disc, just leaving it a little bit short. It's easy to do on this hole.
It's uphill, and they get downhill run on it.
GT playing it nice and wide, hitting right by the basket, and ooh, yep, just checks up.
Eli missed his putt.
Another really close putt from Eli, and this is where it gets scary.
Sam looked this one over for a little bit before he threw it.
Yep. Sam is a very methodical player. He definitely likes to take his time sometimes with some of these putts, and you're seeing where Eli's putt landed. But great putt coming back right there. Then you got GT and Jaden, both pretty close. They should just be tapping in. But even on these short putts, man, it just gets nervy.
So much elevation change, it can get away from you in a hurry.
Yep. Jaden with his tap-in birdie. Got hole 8 today, sponsored by Mr. Catchcam himself and local Temple legend Chapman Shoup. Thank you, Chapman, for everything you do for the Temple disc golf community, and thank you for grinding it out, playing and filming today. So hole 8 today is about 285 feet, probably plays about 250.
Sam is going to be up. He's going to try to go over the top to the left.
Yeah, this is what a lot of guys do. It kind of just lets you match the angle of go into the angle of the hill a little bit better, and he just gets a really bad roll away.
Yeah.
Jaden going with a harp here. The only danger for this is you're playing into those trees, so if you don't get it low enough, you're leaving yourself at the mercy of the road. GT going wide over the road with it again. That looks great. Almost rolls it.
They just roll down the hill like you were talking about.
Yep, and this is just if you don't put the right amount of speed on it.
And Eli did the same thing.
It's just so easy to roll down that hill, which, I mean, it's not the scariest putt because you're putting back uphill with flat ground behind it, but...
So they're all going up the hill with their putts.
Yep. Sam with about a 60-footer. Just
left it short.
Yep. Probably a little half bid, one of those. If it goes in, great. If it doesn't, not the end of the world. GT puts it off the band. Little bit off from Eli.
So 3 missed putts. Jaden's got a birdie putt here.
Jaden with the birdie putt to put himself up 3 strokes.
Bang.
Wow. That was, I've seen, I mean, even Jaden right there, a little head shake right there. Definitely could have seen that one coming right back out at him. But we got a couple of tap-in pars. Not the worst score on this hole. Very easy to take bogey, especially if you're getting a bad reaction off the green. Got hole 9 today, sponsored by George. I have a question, Rangel. George wasn't able to play this year, but man, he helped out a lot behind the scenes. He supplied some baskets, he supplied some tables, he did some coursework. So thank you so much, George. Yeah, it's about a 931-foot par 5. Very, very attackable. There's a Mando in play, and there's OB left, but I think you'll be able to see some of these guys get super aggressive and try and get an eagle here.
Still a long way with the wind.
Yep.
Okay, Jaden with the only birdie on hole number 8, so he's going to go with 9. He's going to tee off.
Yep. Jaden's actually disking down, and he's going honor versus going high-speed driver. Just kind of letting it go right. You definitely want distance, but position on this hole is very important. You definitely don't want to be left because it really cuts off the angle and does not let you get super aggressive. Sam's on top of that ledge, so not exactly where you want to be, but he'll still probably have an opportunity to get aggressive.
Come on, purple people eater.
GT just put it right down the middle.
Yeah, GT throwing a GT Hancock shot right there. That's a great shot right there. And I think we're going to see this disc probably fly pretty far.
This is the one time he flipped it, turned it over, and threw it out of bounds.
And that's just not where you want to be.
So now his third shot's trying to get in position to take his 5.
Yeah, you can see that Mando in play right there. Just definitely makes it to where if you're not in a good spot off the green, you got to play a little bit more conservative. Sam looks like he's going for it. He's throwing either a Wraith or a Destroyer. I can't remember what that is.
Just came down, hit the tree a little short.
Yep, so he's going to have probably about a 50-footer for birdie, or for eagle. Jaden throwing a hyzer flip-up, playing the road skip.
Got the skip.
And got the skip. And
Look
just
at that, beautiful.
leaving himself about a 20-footer for eagle. GT going forehand.
He hits the bottom of this tree right here, and so left him something. So Eli's got to chip up for his 4th shot. Sam's got his eagle putt.
Yep. Very, very much in the Sam DiCarlo range right here. Just a little bit low. It's tough to tell, but we did have some wind. So
He was underneath the tree, and he off the cage as well. So he's going to be disappointed. Both of them made birdie.
the horror.
I know.
But it is a little bit disappointing when you got Jaden just absolutely ripping through the course. He was probably, what, like 8 down through 9 or something? 8 down through 9. But that's what Lions is. You're able to get aggressive, and, you know, when you execute, it pays off. Sam over here with his not tap in, but about 20-foot birdie putt. Squeaks it in on that left side. And it's got to be tough mentally when you're getting birdies and somebody's still pulling away from you with an eagle.
Exactly.
But Sam moves into second place. He's 12 down.
GT's going to finish up.
Yep.
Disappointed in a birdie.
We got hole 10. It's a 752-foot par 4, and it's sponsored by Game Nights. If you have any D&D needs or any other board games, make sure you go and hit them up. Yep, hole 10 is, you know, not the hardest, especially with where the OBs are. Sometimes we'll play OB, Creek and Beyond, but that creek is actually dried up right now, so we're playing Sidewalk and Beyond. So kind of widens the fairway a little bit more.
Okay, so we're 9 holes in. Jaden's up 4-3 on the leaders. He got Eli, who's tied with us, up 5.
Looks like Jaden's just going either. I can't remember if that's an enforcer. I'm pretty sure it's an enforcer. So he's just going enforcer. We got a pretty ripping right to left wind right now. So just play something stable over the OB on the right and just let it come back. Sam stays a touch straighter than I think he was anticipating, but he's coming back. He's in a prime spot to attack the screen.
I'll kind of get it down there.
Yep.
GT with a great shot.
GT pushing it about 40, 50 feet further. He's going to definitely have a lot of options. Then you got Eli.
For one.
You want to know who Eli kind of reminds me of mechanics-wise is EMAC.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a
He's so smooth all day long. And
Yeah.
now, how far do you think this second shot is?
Man, it is a pump. It's still a driver. I mean, it's probably about 450, 460. So it's It's in Sam DiCarlo range right there.
He's that close.
Yep. So Eli playing it out over that little ravine right there. Just leaving himself probably about a 35, 40 footer.
And then Jade coming off that eagle on number 9.
Going eagle birdie on these 2 holes is just great mentally.
You like this one?
And
Basically a
Yeah.
752 foot
Yep.
tap in.
That's a great shot from Jaden right there. GT hanging it out to the right a little bit.
Yourself a birdie.
Yep.
They all have birdie putts.
They all have birdie putts, which is great on this hole.
And GT.
Just a
Off
little
the
bit
bat.
off.
Eli got
Eli.
his putter going.
Great putt from Eli right there. Sam lining up his birdie putt.
Twirling that putter. Made it. And then Jaden basically has a tap
Yeah.
in. So
2 birdies, 2 pars on this hole is definitely not a bad score spread for a card.
GT got his par.
Yep. Got hole 11, sponsored by Armory Disc Golf. If you're in the College Station area, make sure you go hit up Armory Disc Golf. They've got a great selection of discs, and thank you for them for vending this weekend as well. Hole 11 is kind of a split fairway. You can go either left through the woods, or you can go right, kind of where the drone is flying. Typically, if you're going left, though, it's because you had an errant tee
Exactly.
shot. It's usually never I'm going left on purpose. I'm going left
actually
because I
2
have
holes.
to. Yep, it's a split hole, so we'll see how these guys attack it.
First up is Jaden. Had a hard time filming this hole, Peyton. It was hard.
I completely get it.
But what happened is Jaden hit the tree and broke down.
Because if you guys don't know what this green or what this tee area is like, it's kind of hard to get behind the guys throwing.
Yeah, and Sam hit the tree coming out, so he's going to have a little pitch out. Eli is going to get himself out no problem.
Yep,
So he's out just where you want to be.
that's a great shot. And the biggest thing on this hole is I honestly think it's much better to kick left and have to go through the woods than to be short in the middle, because it's
so
very,
There's
very,
Jaden in the trees, and he threw a forehand down the gap for the other hole.
looked like a
Try to
forehand
get it.
roller almost.
Forehand roller is what he did. So
But I would much rather be where Jaden is. This is my least favorite spot to land on this hole.
you have no chance.
Well, it's not even that. It's so easy if you get any sort of aggressive to just go OB in the road, because you can't really tell it from the knee there, from where Sam was, but it is very easy to go OB. That road comes in pretty tight.
Eli was stock. He's right up there with a birdie putt.
GT lining up what looks like, I'm not sure 100% what that clear disc is. Looks overstable. Leaving himself about a 10-footer.
Sam with his third shot trying to get his par.
Yep.
He's a little long, but he's perfect right where he
Yeah.
wants to be.
About
That's where Jaden's roller came right out here in the trees. So he's going to have a long, unorthodox birdie putt.
Yep. And shout out to the city of Temple, where this basket actually got knocked over Wednesday night. So they got it fixed up and put back Thursday morning.
Oh, I
So,
didn't know that.
Yep. This sleeve got pushed over. So they...
Great job, City. Thank you. And Jaden go ahead and makes unorthodox 4. And then Sam made his 4. So 2 birdies, 2 pars on this hole.
Yep. We got hole 12, 642 feet uphill, par 4. And this one is sponsored by AAA Straight Vape. If you guys have any vaping needs, go check them out. They're right next to Discaholics. So this one's 642 feet uphill. You can't see it in the drone camera, but there's OB right on the crest of that hill. So it kind of makes people decide if they want to get super aggressive and go left and make a much easier second shot, or they can go right over the trees and maybe not have the most easy second shot. So definitely some risk reward.
Eli's just going to go right down the middle. He's not going to try to tempt the out of bounds. He's just going to go right through the gap.
Yep.
And pured it. Great shot for Eli.
Basically just throw it that way and hope you miss everything. GT's going big hyzer And this is one of those, hey, if you got it, use it
Yeah,
shots.
exactly. He's got it.
Yep.
Perfect. In position.
Yep.
So Jade's going to try to go around, and this is probably the one mistake that he had.
Yep.
Round.
Just
The wind just knocked it down.
Yep, you can kind of see it there with the flags. It's pretty stiff headwind. He threw a general, just didn't get it quite high enough, so he's basically going to be re-teeing.
Yep.
Sam's not happy with this shot for some reason.
I don't know.
It's a great shot, so they deliberated for a little bit, and they were kind of trying to figure out, you know, because this OB line is actually the water
Mm-hmm.
up until the flags start.
Yeah,
so
they were trying to figure out exactly where his footing would be.
yeah, so in case you didn't know, if you go out of bounds, you can actually play from as far back in line with the basket as you want. So Jaden's trying to get it figured out to where he can play from. And he's basically going to have the same exact shot as he had from the tee box.
A lot of out of bounds, basically throwing out of bounds.
Yep.
So he's got to get it back
So
in.
very, very stressful tee shot or second shot here, because if he goes OB, he's basically going from the same spot.
So how far do you think he's out to that out of bounds line?
I would say it's probably about 350, 360 maybe. You know, for him, definitely not worried about not getting it there. Looks like he's actually disking down and going on her, just so he can play it to the right. That's what he does. Much better shot. Gets it a lot further right. And just should set up a pretty easy, I'm assuming, forehand second shot.
So Eli went up there and played the hole right up underneath the basket. He's going to have himself a birdie putt.
Yep. Really good forehand there. Sam's going, looks like Heiser over the right side. Can get super sketchy just because it matches the angle of the hill.
Kind of caught the tree right there in front. He's still going to have a birdie putt.
And this sidewalk actually plays as a river. GT's going A2 right here.
And he kind of clipped that tree.
Yeah, very easy to do. These guardian trees are pretty thick. So this is more where Jaden would like to land off the tee.
Yeah, so this is his.
He's throwing 4 right now. Yeah. He's going justice, this stable justice. Ooh, almost rings it up.
Going to go ahead and make his bogey. And GT has a long putt for birdie. They were playing fast at this point.
Yeah. Well, Sam with a great birdie putt. He's hyped up. He's going to be getting a 2-stroke swing on Jaden right here.
Exactly. Then Eli made his putt.
And up to this point, this was Jaden's first and only bogey.
Yep.
All because he didn't listen to his caddy. I told him to just play the Heiser, but he didn't want to listen. Got hole 13. It's a little bit different than what you see on the drone footage here. This basket's actually going to be left over the creek or over the little pond. True par 4 now, definitely a 2-shot hole unless you're Charlie Moore and you can try and get there in 1. So let's see how it plays out.
That was Eli.
Looked like he went forehand, just playing it away from the OB. There's an OB
what
line
they're going to say is that he drove it into the water. So
with a forehand. Wow, that's a bomb.
He was pretty surprised.
Sam just looking like he's playing just stable out to the right, trying to get it as close to the water as you really can without going OB, and that's about as good as it gets right there.
Mm-hmm.
GT's lining up his shot. I'm assuming it's just going to be a layup with how wide he's playing it.
He bombed it. It's going to be way down here. If you look, he's almost at the basket.
Yeah, he would be almost parked onto the other basket.
He almost went too far and couldn't get it back around the corner.
Yep. Looks like Jaden's playing Enforcer, I want to say. Yep, going Enforcer, just basically trying to get it near where Sam is, just close to the water, so you can have a pretty easy up and down. Rolling, though.
Luckily, it rolled and stopped.
Yep.
So this is Sam's got a little touchy approach shot here. And he's going to leave it a little short. It's going to hit the water and bounce off the side and go back.
Does it bounce off the side?
Yeah, you'll see it. Here, I'll show you.
We got a little
boom, boom.
Yep. Definitely. Side. That's a very, very fortunate miss because if he didn't hit the water, if he didn't hit that side, he'd be playing.
Yeah, they were asking about it and made sure they were pretty adamant, pretty quick that it hit the side. So
Jaden going water skip, fell in.
Right up underneath the basket.
And that's how you play that hole right there.
Pretty tight.
Eli looks like a slammer. Ooh, almost rings it up.
went a little long. The GT was almost a little too far down to get around the corner. He's gonna be right up there for his birdie putt.
Looks like this hill behind is pretty steep, but there's so much like foliage and stuff to where it's pretty easy to.
You're not usually in play in your normal rounds.
Yeah, that was a great putt from Eli right there. Really good up and down after going OB.
No, Sam went OB. Oh yeah,
Eli did go.
Sorry, you're right.
Sam with his tap in almost 5, right? Should be 5. Or no, tap in 4 because he hit that side.
Yeah, they only had 3 shots.
Yep. Getting a 4 there, but only problem is that guy right there is getting a birdie. So he's extending that lead. Sam had brought it back to tied, and now Jaden's getting a stroke back. GT with a very good birdie right there. Hole 14 is kind of a forehand specific shot. You want to throw either a slight flex or you want to throw a hyzer flip up, or a lot of people even go fast and stable and play a stall. So let's see how it works out.
GT's up first after his birdie.
Yeah.
The mistake is you clip the trees going on the left, or you clip the trees on the right. Kind of short it on your forehand.
Yeah, GT's going Firebird here. Looks like he'll play a slight flex, and that's just kind of the miss with the flex shot. Is sometimes hard to commit. Jaden looks like he's going with his Justice, and that just looks pure, and he's feeling it right now.
Yeah, he's right up underneath.
He just got that birdie after the bogey.
Got him another birdie.
Eli leaking it over just a little bit right. I got a birdie on this hole last day.
Did you?
Ask me how I did it.
How'd you do it?
Thumber.
Thumber.
I believe Sam went Frio there. Charlie Frio just pulled it a little bit.
So he's got a
very, very good kick out, though, it looks like. Giving it a bid. That's a good layup right there. Taking a 3.
And then Eli's in the trees.
Yeah.
Got chipped up, make his par. GT's got to have an interesting second shot here. You're gonna see it. He's way deep in the cedars. He's got himself a little gap trying to get it up close.
There's usually some lines to get out of here, but sometimes the best course of action is just close your eyes and pray.
Yep, he was just up there right up on the basket. So.
Yep. Looks like we got 3 tap-in pars, and Jaden again getting another stroke on the card.
He's up 3.
Yep.
On the card now.
Yep. Jaden and Sam are tied, and now there's a 3-stroke swing and 2 holes again. Got hole 15. It'll look a little bit different after the drone. That basket is no longer there. It's a combined hole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming the majority of these guys are either going to go forehand hyzer or they're going to go just stock hyzer. The play is to push it up, and then the basket's actually up on top of a little cliff that you'll be able to see in a moment.
He's going to get there. Just they took the drone through the line.
Yeah.
Most people went over to the right.
Yep. The most ideal landing spot is actually to land by hole 17's tee box.
Mm-hmm.
If you're too far right or left, it kind of limits to what you can do. So
tough hole.
Jaden going general or enforcer right here. I'm assuming it's an enforcer.
Back-to-back birdies. He's going to go over the top.
Yep. Just playing the stall shot. And like I said, just landing right by that tee pad is kind of the ideal spot.
Eli drove it. We thought he was going to hit the tree there for a second.
A little bit lower, pushing a little bit further. He's almost dang near in really long jump putt range. GT lining up the same shot. I'm not sure what disc this is that he's throwing.
Turns it way right. Turns it over. So he's going to have a bad angle into the green.
A lot more distance off the tee, but like I said earlier, kind of just limits to what you can do angle-wise.
Just went over the top. Sam's going to be a little to the right as well.
Yeah. Sam looked like he went a touch more stable, a little bit more of a flat shot versus the pushing hyzer that the other guys threw.
Okay, so Jaden is basically
Yeah, this
Right
is
where he wants
this is
to
where
be.
you want to be. He's going felon, and the thought process here is probably just, hey, get it up there, and then hope you hit something.
Which is what he did.
Yep.
He brought it right by the basket.
Yep.
So,
And that's what these trees do. You basically, if you just get something up there, you're going to basically hit a tree and hopefully drop right by the basket.
that's what happened. Sam's a little out of position. He's going to have to swing it way into the gap to try to get it around the corner.
Sam's a really good player, though,
Yeah.
so he's got a pretty solid forehand. Looks like he left it a touch short.
And then Eli clipped the top of the tree, but he's going to be right there by the basket.
Yep. Yep. This green is super grabby.
And then we didn't see GT's, but he swung it in there. That was
Yeah.
a landed shot.
GT
So,
looked like he went A2s.
Yeah.
Sam left himself about a 25 footer, slightly awkward footing.
he was worried about that tree stump.
Yep. Great putt,
No problem
Good birdie.
making that putt.
especially from out of position right there. Kind of a need to make that one just because you know Jaden's 2 feet away for a
Yeah.
tap-in birdie.
Jaden already tapped in and walked off to the
He
next
did.
hole. So,
Yeah.
And then GT had his.
Great
birdie
putt,
as well. So
GT.
4 birdies there. Another
Yeah.
star birdie, Frank.
Hole 16 is another combined hole. If you hadn't seen Lions Park before this, up top got pretty ripped up by the tornado, so we had a little bit of work to do and try and figure out what we were going to do for this layout. So we're actually going course hole 18 to 19. That's why the tee pad is a little bit misangled, and that's just because we're going to a different basket. So it's about a 400-foot dead straight shot. There's a bunch of different ways you can attack. You can go hyzer, flip up, you can go forehand, you can even go over the top. So
Okay, so after Jaden made that bogey, 3 straight birdies. So
yeah,
kind of got back control of the tournament there. He's up 3 now with 3 holes to play here in
Yeah.
round number 2.
Jaden's feeling it too. Looks like he's going, yep, just right up the middle.
He's going to clip a tree and probably be 125 feet out.
Yeah, it's a tough hole. I mean, it's a very specific shot shape.
You almost had to play this when after the tornado hit because the basket was gone on the hole.
Yep.
So you kind of combined it. It's a nice hole. Got a good gap in there.
Yep. It was actually the 8th hardest hole, and there were only 6 birdies in the entire round. And Eli just looks like he absolutely pures it.
He does.
Yep.
We thought he went out of bounds.
Yep. That OB behind it comes into play pretty quick, but that looked about as perfect as it gets. Just that slight hyzer flips up and rides dead straight.
Yeah, the tee pad's kind of pointed in the wrong direction, so
Yep.
you got an interesting footing to try and manage.
Looked like Sam went Frio there, I
He
believe.
clipped a tree, so he's going to
Yeah.
be a little farther out. So,
Not the hardest hole to get up and down with either.
no.
It's short enough to where even if you hit something, you should have a pretty nonchalant up and down.
Just like that.
Yep. GT's going. Putter right there. Just skipping it up there. And you got Sam going forehand. I believe this is a Quake. DGA
The way
Quake.
it sounded, you're like,
We were out there 3 tap-ins for par, and then
Yep.
you got Eli's birdie putt here.
Yeah, this would be a great birdie to getting a stroke on the whole card going down the stretch. Great putt, Eli. That's a great birdie to get. Not the hardest hole in terms of there were many bogeys. I don't think there were any round 1 or round 2, but not that many birdies.
Just got to execute your shot and miss the trees.
Yep.
And then you got 3 tap-ins. So we got 2 holes left. Eli's going to walk away with a stroke on the card. Only birdie of 4. So
a bit more scared to turf on top of it, just solely for, yeah, just knowing it's sliding around and everything.
Got hole 17. It's about 332 feet. Goes slightly downhill, so it probably plays a little bit closer to 300. Most guys will just throw a forehand, just trying to push it straight and fade it out. Some guys will even throw a backhand turnover. Really not much danger. Just try and get inside putting range, really. Eli, after great birdies, lining up this forehand. And that looks great.
Really feeling at the end. He's
Yeah.
left himself about a 20-footer.
Yeah. Really, the play is to just miss that tree. If you can, in the middle of your screen, if you can see that little gap in between the two trees, if you can go left of the first and right of the second, that one will basically be a tap in. Jaden's going Fusion Justice with his UMHB stamp on it, or die.
This is one of the holes that was really altered by the storm.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of trees.
GT going forehand, pulls it a little bit,
Got a great skip.
but gets that skip. Looked like he went a little bit faster. That looks like a fairway. Then you got Sam lining up forehand. Looks like he's standstilling it. Yep.
Looks like they all did what they were going to do. They have a putt.
Yep. Very,
birdie.
very, very stock shot for these guys.
And Eli's going to have the longest putt of the bunch.
Yep.
And he trained it.
Yep. Sneaks it in there. It's a great putt. Good birdie. Definitely know if you're on lead card and you're not getting a birdie there, you're going to be losing strokes.
I know.
It's nice to have tap-in birdies.
I know that's
Especially
not
on hole
right.
Have the
17.
whole card be a tap-in birdie. You got hole 18 here. We're going combined hole from course hole 1A's tee pad to hole 1's basket. It's 592 feet straight downhill. Probably plays about 530. You got OB right in the road, and then you've also got a flagged line left, OB. If you go OB anywhere, you're proceeding to the drop zone, which is the concrete hole 1.
Okay, last hole of the day. Great hole. It's a fantastic hole to finish up.
Very, very fun finishing hole. Very good opportunity for some score separation here. Eli throws the backhand and just
He hit the tree.
gets kind of lucked out by the tree. Looked like it may have come back in, but this is just a safe play. You're going forehand. Looks like he's going enforcer forehand. Just play it over the trees, get about halfway, and leave yourself a pretty up and down birdie opportunity.
Got a great roll here too as well.
Great roll. Definitely in range for all of these guys, shot distance wise, but it's round 2. I don't think any of them were really trying to push it to get a birdie, except or get an
GT
eagle,
was,
except
but
GT, which
he really swung this one around, and this is what you were talking about. He swung it around and went down the hill.
Yep.
And clipped out of bounds.
Yep, and that's the problem. It's kind of tough to see, but this angle of the fairway, if you throw a backhand, it's very easy to filter OB. Sam's going forehand, just playing it wide, a little bit higher than Jaden's was, but that's just going to hit right down the middle.
Yep.
So looks like we've got 3 inbound. GT's throwing from the drop zone here. Not even the easiest drop zone.
And then the shot landed and kind of flared right.
Yep. He's going to leave himself about a 30-footer maybe for par.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Sam's throwing his Quake over stable mid-range from DGA, just skipping it up there. He's left himself about a 25-footer.
And Eli's underneath the tree.
Eli looks like that's a slammer, and that's going to be about a 15-footer.
There's just no grass on that
Yep.
hillside. It really skips.
No grass. Jaden's going slammer. Yep, just pretty much a tap-in, but you can see how much ground play that has even for, approach discs.
Okay, GT's lined up for a very long par putt.
Yep.
The wind kind of got it.
Yep. We had a pretty stiff wind right there, so
Sam with a spit out.
Sam's putt just squeaks out. You know he would have liked to have that one to get a birdie, especially with Jaden being so close.
And then GT finishes up with his bogey. Difficult. Had a great tee shot that just skipped out of bounds, and that kind of killed him on the hole.
Yep. Eli with a great putt.
Got his 3.
Yep.
And then Jaden's going to try to finish up here with a 3.
Yep. Jaden's going to be tapping out a birdie here to give him, should be 3 or 4 strokes going into the last day.
Should be. Does
Yep.
that. So tell us about round 2. What'd you think?
I mean, Jaden's definitely got the home advantage. I mean, he plays these courses almost every single day, so definitely would be really shocked if anybody could catch him going into round 3. But we've got Jaden at 21 down, Eli at 18, Sam at 17, and Zane at 15. He'll actually be on lead card for final day, so I think it'll be really exciting to see, how this all shakes out. Jaden definitely has given himself a bit of a cushion, so
Exactly. So round two, how do you think the course played? What did it feel like out there?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty happy with the scores. I told everybody that you're going to have to shoot probably close to double digits to, separate yourself, and that's kind of what happened. My guess was that anybody who shoots better than 30 would win over 3 rounds. So it looks like we're kind of tracking on that. But, it'll be really exciting to kind of see how these guys attack it round 3. So nothing on the course changes. So we'll just basically see who can come back and do it again tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks, Peyton. We'll see you round 3.
Yes, sir.